कोविड का डर अजे भी पूरी तरह खत्म नहीं होया। बेशक मामलों की रफ्तार काफ़ी घट गई है, पर खतरा अजे भी बरकरार दस्या जा रहा है। इस संबंधी ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया के सूबाई सेहत अधिकारी और सेहत मंत्री एड्रियन डिस्क वालों सूबे विच कोविड की मौजूदा स्थिति ते वैक्सीनेशन प्रक्रिया उत्ते पुख्ता जानकारी सांझी की गई है।
Data that we're reporting on today are for 17 of the 18 colleges. About 94% overall have been vaccinated or are medically exempt. So on a note, on the 17 or 18 side, we're not reporting data from the College of Nurses and Midwives today, but you do have very significant information. We know that the vast majority, and I mean the vast majority of nurses, work in the public healthcare system, and the vast majority of those nurses have been vaccinated to the tune of 99%. So when those numbers are introduced finally into these numbers, we'll see them go up, not down. The nurses are extremely well vaccinated in BC. For those of you keeping track of these things, the highest level of vaccination is the College of Dietitians, followed by the College of Physicians and Surgeons in BC at 98%. It's expected, as I say, the data for all things, including nurses, will be available in the coming weeks. And just remind everyone that nurses represent about 46% of all those in health professional colleges. So they're about, the rest of them are about 67,000. The nurses are about 63,000. That's why it's taking just a little bit longer. I want to say two things just finally, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Henry. The first is that just under 80,000, 78,362 people in BC have received their fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccine, that the priority in the month of April was long-term care and those who are clinically vulnerable, who had received, in effect, their first or their third vaccinations soonest. Over this month of May, we're going to see a very high number of those over 70 reach 182 days and then be eligible for their fourth dose vaccination. We're going to have a week, next week in fact, when 75,000 people over 70 reach that level, and they'll all be invited to be vaccinated. And as you know, there are hundreds of locations across BC, in the hundreds, particularly in community pharmacy, some from health authorities in community pharmacy, and we encourage everyone. Haven't got your first dose, get your first dose. And happily, I'm happy to say about 1,000 people have received their first dose of Novavax since it's become available, and more are coming every day. If you haven't got your second dose, get your second dose. If you haven't got your third dose, get your third dose. That's more than 1 million people invited who haven't got their third dose yet. And of course, for those over 70, those who are clinically vulnerable, for those who are on long-term care or supporting people in long-term care, that's vital as well. So
मुफ्त सेवा समग्री का खर्चा कम होने तो बाद मियाँ भारती जी +91 981 55 12050 घर बैठे हर समस्या का समाधान 100% गारंटीड करवाओ। ऊपरी हवा, वशीकरण करवाना या तुड़वाना, प्रेम विवाह, मनचाहा प्यार, लाटो, लाइलाज बीमारी, पति पत्नी के झगड़े, दुश्मन सौतन, नौकरी कारोबार, घरेलू कलेश ਅਤੇ कोर्ट कचहरी तो छुटकारा, विदेश यात्रा विच रुकावटां, अपने करियर विच सफलता प्राप्त करो। कॉल और व्हाट्सएप मियाँ भारती जी +91 981 55 12050।